This is the Mahindra XEV 9S, the 7-seat version of the XEV 9e. But as you can see from the design, it's not just a long version of the XEV 9e. It's a lot more than that, different in terms of design, different in terms of interior. It also gets a new battery option. So how is it to drive, and does it deserve your money or not? So stay tuned for the next few minutes as we decode the Mahindra XEV 9S. Now, starting off with the design, the first thing you'll notice about this vehicle is that it looks very different from the XEV 9e. It's no longer sporting a coupe style, and it looks a lot more conventional, similar to the XUV 700, if I might. And up front, you'll see a similar kind of a LED DRL structure has been carried forward, but there are differences in terms of how thick the bar is. Also, there are differences in the bumper, and of course, it's electric, so it's completely shut off. Overall, I think it looks modern, it looks nice, it looks a lot more easy on the eye. On side, we've got these aero optimized alloy wheels, and if you look at the overall side profile, including the roof line, unlike the XEV 9e, it doesn't rake too sharply. It goes a little, it has a slight taper effect, but it's modest. And then at the back, again, that massive LED tail lamp, it's not there. It's a nicer, sleeker, much more conventional looking rear, and as a result of that, it's less polarizing, it's more acceptable, and that just means that more people will be open to accepting this design. Of course, now when you're going in for a 7-seat vehicle, your priority is carrying people with you, right? Your family, your friends, and you need boot space. So if you've got the third row folded down, this is the kind of boot space you get, which is quite impressive. You can see even a large size bag and some of our camera equipment. So it can easily handle your weekend requirements, the airport runs, not a problem there. But what if you put the third row up? Well, this is the amount of space you're left with if you put the seat up. And to give you a perspective, well, this is not a very big bag, and this is pretty much what you can fit. So maybe a couple of small bags or a laptop bag. So yes, of course, you can't go for a weekend journey with 7 people because you will not have place to put their stuff. But yes, from a daily usage point of view, yes, you do get a standard basic amount of space. Your daily shopping runs and all that can be handled by this. Hey, don't be disappointed. I was just kidding. You can actually go on weekend outings with 7 people because this gets a massive frunk. So you can take a lot of luggage. You can put in a couple of more small bags and some more small stuff. You can actually increase the amount of space by opening this place here, and then you get some more deeper storage area. So yes, you can go on a weekend trip with 7 people in this vehicle. Now, talking about the interior of the XEV 9S, well, once you step inside the cabin, you will find that familiarity with the XEV 9e because, of course, they're not going to redesign the entire cabin. But what has changed inside this car is it's much more loaded in the standard variant. So even if you go in for a base variant, you will get this triple screen layout from one end to the other. You will get the panoramic sunroof as standard even on the base variant. So the standard variant comes pretty loaded. Then again, of course, if I talk about these screens, they look great. Of course, they add a lot of premium flair to the cabin, similar to what we've seen on the XEV 9e. Works well, in terms of touch response, very fluid. You've got the Android Auto, Apple Car connectivity. It's a connected car, so you get the connectivity functions which you can use from your smartphone. So all of that is there in this car. And then if I talk about the overall quality of the cabin, the soft touch material, the plastics, I think a good job has been done here. The lower part of the plastic, it's hard, but it doesn't feel cheap. So the build quality, it sort of looks quite solid. Then there's the audio system, the Harman Kardon audio system. It's a fantastic audio system. If you are an audiophile, you are going to enjoy listening to your favorite music on this. So yes, definitely it's a thumbs up from my end in terms of music. The sunroof, massive panoramic sunroof, which opens, by the way, but please, it opens only for viewing or for letting in some good fresh air. It's not for having your kids pop out. That's a very stupid thing to do, so please do not use the sunroof for that purpose. But yes, ventilated seats, which is nice. This seat is also having a boss mode function, so you can adjust it from behind using the controls given here. The seat itself is quite nice in terms of cushioning, nice side support, the shoulder support is good. So yes, I mean, from a front cabin perspective, I think it's a very loaded vehicle. This is of course the top variant, so it's completely decked up. But yes, that's been Mahindra's USP recently. The vehicles are loaded to the brim with features, and similar is the story here. Now, before we go ahead and talk about the middle row, let's talk about the most important, the third row, because that's the reason, one of the main reasons why you would be buying. So getting in, well, one fold tumble and well, not too high. So yeah, I mean, all right. So yeah, I mean, not too hard to get in. And once you do, well, I've got this seat right now pushed all the way back. It is adjustable, so you can push it forward and create more space. But if you have it all the way back, this is the kind of space I have. So my knees are brushing against the seat, but they're not like really digging in. So it's not that uncomfortable. In terms of headroom, you can see I've just got about this much clearance left. Like most 3-row vehicles, the seat is low and my knees are pointing upwards. I do not have ample under thigh support. So yes, kids, I think it should be okay. For adults, long drive, I'm sure this is not a seat where anyone would want to be for a long duration, but normal city drives, I think it is manageable. However, adding a little bit of comfort to this seat is the fact that you get, individual AC vents. You can also control the blower speed using the regulator here. You've got a 12-volt charging socket and cup holders on either sides. And now let's talk about the middle seat, middle row. And in terms of cushioning, I would say it's great. You can see one of the good things about the seat is it gives you good amount of under thigh support, at least for a person of my height. And I've got good amount of leg room. You can see I've got good amount of knee room. And beyond that, in terms of headroom also, I've got good clearance. Of course, this massive panoramic sunroof adds to the airiness of the cabin. The brilliant Harman Kardon system with its speakers will keep occupants in all rows very happy. There's a blind here, and beyond that, you can also mount your tablet, your iPads here for additional screen experience. There's a 65 kilowatt hour charger socket given here to rapidly charge your devices. Air conditioning vents here. So great, I think, in terms of comfort. These seats are ventilated, so using the controls on the either side, you can also cool them. That's a big plus. And these seats are adjustable, 60-40 split, and you can push both rows forward or backwards. And you can also adjust the level of backrest incline you get. So really comfortable for even long journeys, not just urban runs. You can take it for a long journey, and I think it just comes across as a very comfortable and a practical middle row. One other nice thing in this middle row is that you have a boss mode for the co-passenger seat. Using these buttons, I can push the seat forward or backward and also change the backrest angle. So that means I don't have to ask the person driving to make those adjustments, or even if someone's sitting here, I can make them myself. Alright, now let's talk about the driving dynamics and the driving experience of the XEV 9S, and starting off with, first of all, the electric powertrain. Well, it comes with the same powertrain as the XEV 9e does, but the biggest change here is that unlike the XEV 9e, which comes in two battery options, which is a 59 and a 79, this one gets a new third option, which is a 70 kilowatt hour option. So you get a 59, 70 and a 79, covers a wider base and wider requirements right now. This one is the range topping version, and this has a 79 kilowatt hour battery, 281 horsepower, so lots of power. All the power is channeled to the rear wheel drives, and it is quick off the line. This thing is really quick. Electric means no lag. Right from the moment you step on the throttle, you get instant acceleration, and you get boost mode if you want to have more fun. You get driving modes, so you can basically optimize the driving setup for more range or comfort, or more sportiness. And you also get a boost mode if you want to go really fast for a few seconds. There are also driving modes which allow you to either go in for more range or go in for a more sporty drive. So all of those options exist. In terms of driving dynamics, it's super fun to drive. Like I said earlier, rear wheel drive, it's really set up in a very sporty manner, so the car doesn't mind going around corners at a really fast pace. And because it's so sorted in terms of dynamics, you can actually go in hot in a corner and hold it. Switch off the traction control if you are good enough of a driver, and then it will allow you to go into a slide and control it with opposite lock. So you can do all of that. It's that good in terms of driving dynamics. So yes, driving an EV can be fun. It's not something you hear quite often, but yes, with this you can have some amount of fun. There is no sound, of course. There is an artificial one, but I'm not a fan of that. Beyond that, in terms of ride quality, I think it's perfectly set up. It's not, it's a bit on the stiffer side. Of course, it would be the weight of the battery explains that, but yeah, it's still to a point where occupants will feel comfortable. And once you get going, you're at speeds beyond 15-20 kilometers. Going on potholes, going through potholes, or going over speed breakers, it gets sorted. It's only at very low speeds that you do feel the shock coming through. So yeah, overall good in terms of stability, fun to drive, it's comfortable. And in terms of range, well, claimed range can be very different from real world range, but with this it's not the case. You can easily expect a real world range of over 500 kilometers. I have driven the XEV 9e with the same powertrain for more than 500 kilometers on more than a couple of occasions. So yes, you can do that. And of course, if you drive in a very economical way, you're not too generous with the throttle, you go in for the range mode, maybe if it's winter, you're not using the air conditioning much, you can probably also see upwards of 600 kilometers on a single charge. And since Mahindra has recently also started installing 180 kilowatt chargers, on one of those chargers, you can go from 20 to 80 in a matter of few minutes. So basically, get a nice coffee and your battery goes from 20 to 80%. So, that's really great. So no range anxiety, good to drive, it's comfortable, and it's tech loaded, it's safe. It gets level 2 plus ADAS, 5 radars. That's how advanced this vehicle is. And to conclude this video, overall, I think for all of this tech, for all the features, for all the sporty drive that you get, for all the space that you get, all this still under 30 lakh rupees. But still under 30 lakh rupees. If fair and square I were to compare the feature offerings on this, you could probably compare it to even vehicles costing upwards of 50 lakh rupees, and they still might not be able to match the kind of features you get on this vehicle. That's how strong the packaging on this vehicle is, and that's how strong the value for money offering is. So let us know, what do you think about this vehicle in the comment section, and what do you like the most about it, and what could have been better. And talking of what could have been better, there's one thing I would like to point out at the last. Manufacturers please don't take away physical buttons. I mean, this car, there are no physical buttons. Everything here is again like a touch panel. Here, everything is again a touch panel. It's not something really great. I mean, you do need to take your eyes off. So yes, physical buttons here would be a very welcome move. But beyond that, I think the XEV9S is a brilliant package, and Mahindra has priced it again comparatively. So another winner on their hands, because this looks a lot more easier on the eye. That's a very big plus.